Amit Bhardwaj joining us on the broadcast with more details on this particular story. Amit, very good morning to you. We have been tracking reports coming in from different parts of the country for the past 2-3 days now. Restaurants have already said that they've cut down their menus from elaborate menu to maybe as less as just 2 dishes. But what is becoming more and more concerning is reports coming in from certain people of using LPG domestically who have been saying that they're unable to get access to cylinders because there's a shortage and the regulation by the gas agencies is not being done properly. How are we looking at the situation and what seems to be the status as of today?
Well, Shreya, the government of India was pretty much aware of this fact that situation of this sort could actually, occur. And the reason being is that the government maintains that there is no shortage of LPG for that matter. And whatever situation we are seeing unfold in different states is because of panic booking. So panic booking is the term that has been defined by the government. And yesterday as well in the interministerial briefing, it was pretty much said that there's no scarcity of LPG and the government is prioritizing the domestic supply of the LPG first, and after that other people will be provided the gas supply. And now a system is also being put into place for commercial cylinders to be provided as required by the commercial outlets. But the state governments are being also given responsibility of prioritizing as to who should get those commercial cylinders first and who should be later in the ladder. But what is happening is that, as you rightly mentioned, in several of the states, including the case that we saw in Karnataka as well, where several, domestic gas cylinders were actually recovered from commercial establishments. And that is why this was pretty much preempted by the centre. And that's why yesterday in the interministerial briefing, it was said that the state governments have been asked to keep a check on this particular distribution channel and ensure that there's no hoarding of domestic cylinders, no black marketing of domestic cylinders, and obviously the commercial use of domestic cylinders should not happen, while the government is trying to put a commercial cylinder distribution system into place, which has faced the hit because not only in the national capital, as you were mentioning, the National Restaurant Association has also issued an advisory as to how to run these food outlets across the country, who are member of that NRAI, going on to also say that don't use dishes which need a lot of simmering. So gas in order to reduce the gas consumption.
So basically,
the government
advisories
is
now
hoping,
being
the centre is
issued.
hoping that by today as well they should improve. Back to you.
Advisories are being issued to not only make efficient use of commercial LPG at this point of time, but also how to in fact make sure that the shortage is not hitting restaurants to completely shut down. As you just mentioned, that processes like simmering should be avoided at this point of time, very rightly so. Amit, thank you for bringing us that perspective from the national capital. Let me also, viewers, take you through colleagues' report. Anaga Kesav, who's brought us this special report from Chennai on the LPG situation. Remember, yesterday itself, we've been looking at long queues outside petrol stations where people had started going in to stock up fuel. But today, let's take a look at what the situation looks like.
We are reporting from inside the kitchen of the Zara caterers. Per day, they have more than 2,000 people who come here right at the time of the iftar celebration to break their fast. And you can see the kind of changes that they have made. Right now, they are using LPG cylinder on a very minimal level. You can see things are getting fried over there. That's chicken getting fried, and you can also see the gravy over here, which actually needs the LPG cylinder to get reheated. But the owner tells us that they can't use LPG cylinder at the moment to reheat it because there simply isn't enough stock. So what they're doing is that they are managing with limited resources, limited availability. Biryani gets cooked in firewood like usual, but when it comes to gravy and kurma and items like that, it is that time when they really require LPG cylinders. And because of the huge shortage crisis that they are facing at the moment, they have resorted to very minimal usage of commercial LPG. Per day they require about 5 to 10 cylinders, but now because of cylinder shortage they're not getting supplies. They also have weddings to cater to and therefore have limited stock of LPG cylinders, as well have resorted to very judicious consumption of commercial LPG. Items that can be cooked in firewood are well to do, but for items like gravy that actually consume a lot of LPG, that's when they're sort of cutting down and are looking at alternate options by tweaking their menu offerings. This is also peak wedding season. This weekend there are a lot of weddings happening, so a lot of caterers are sort of brainstorming about how to use less LPG and switch over to firewood to save that fuel. With camera person Daniel, Anaga Keshav reporting for India Today from Chennai.
So while that report was from Chennai, we'll next take you to the city of Mumbai, where several bakeries have been shutting down due to this LPG crisis. Take a look at this report brought to you by our colleague Mustafa Sheikh.
Due to shortage of commercial LPGs, the bakeries in Mumbai are shutting down. One, the LPG cylinders are not available. The second important thing, it remains that after enforcing a Bombay High Court order, all the wood fire and diesel ovens were demolished in the bakeries of Mumbai, and hence the result, you can see the trays are empty, bakeries are not functional, bread and power, which remains very essential to the people of Mumbai for the migrant workers, and this bread had not even stopped during the COVID lockdown because the bakeries were functioning. But now, because these ovens, you can see there are lakhs of rupees which have been spent to make these kind of LPG run ovens, but now they have been completely rendered useless and being used as the storage facility because these ovens run on LPG cylinders which are placed above. But somehow for a few days these cylinders were managed, but now because the cylinders are not being given, Eastern Bakery in Lower Parel where we are standing is shut. There are around 2,500 to 3,000 bakeries in Mumbai which supply breads to lakhs and lakhs of people, and that is something which is coming to a standstill. One, because of the LPG shortage, and two, there is a Bombay High Court order for not using wood fire oven and diesel oven.